Welcome to Meadowbrook Memories Podcast. I am Jelly, otherwise known as Glaister Prince, and my co-host is Hitchcock, otherwise known as Alfred Henry. Our mission on this podcast series is to explore the stories behind the magic that was created at Meadowbrook. When over a span of 4 years, between 1982 and 1986, we saw the transformation of a small co-educational school with less than 1,200 students, 800 boys, 800 girls and 400 boys into a successful sports and scholastic champion, winning 7 major trophies, 3 Sunlight Cup, 2 Topping Cup, 1 Walker Cup, and 1 Nutriment Shield. And to crown these achievements, Meadowbrook also produced 2 Rhodes Scholars, Cavell Creighton in 1987 and Andrea Wright in 1989, both graduates of Meadowbrook in 1983. In this podcast series, we'll be speaking to persons, both males and female, who are actively involved in this incredible journey, along with friends and staff at Meadowbrook, which inspired the environment which created this golden era. We hope you enjoy our discussion. Please give us as much support and encouragement as you can on whatever social media platform you are listening. Welcome and thanks for joining us. All right, ready? So remember to like, share, and subscribe these Meadowbrook Memories podcasts so neither you nor your friends will miss another Meadowbrook conversation. Thanks. Oh, today is Wednesday, March 1, 2023, and welcome back to another conversation about Meadowbrook Memories. Me, as usual, Jelly, or Glaister, or Lance, or Prince, any one of those names will do. Rejoining me today as co-host is Donna White Philibert, who was a guest on episode 35, and you should go back and listen to Donna's Meadowbrook Memories and subscribe while listening. Donna was also co-host on episode number 55 with Dennis Irvin Robertson, and you must go back and listen to that episode because Dennis started Meadowbrook in 1962, and her memory is very inspirational. Our guest today will give a proper introduction in the true tradition of Meadowbrook Memories. She started Meadowbrook in 1968 and left in 1975, the same school year I started Meadowbrook, 74-75. She took the common entrance in 4th grade, which means that she was a very special student even before she started Meadowbrook. But without further ado, our guest is here to tell our own Meadowbrook stories. So Meadowbrook Memories, welcome Andrea King-Bird to this conversation. Introduce yourself, Andrea.
Yes. Hi, Glaister. Hi, Donna. Yes, I'm Andrea King-Bird, and very, very proud of being a past student of Meadowbrook. People always say, I went to the Meadowbrook High School, I always put the in front of it. Mm-hmm. And everybody who knows me know that I went to the Meadowbrook High School. So me, professionally, I am an attorney at law. However, I'm a wellness coach because my purpose is really to show people a more healthy way and also to allow persons to understand that having a straight job alone is not sufficient. You have to have more income. So we give the opportunity for people to do that too. So I'm excited to be here tonight. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you. Warm welcome, Andrea. This is a great moment for all here.
Mm-hmm. So reintroduce back yourself, Donna.
Well, good night, everyone. And Donna White Philibert. I attended proudly Meadowbrook High School from 1968 through 75. And, the memories are still vivid, still special because why? Meadowbrook shaped not only my life, but, my classmates. Meadowbrook was the gateway to so much that makes us who we are. And I am excited also about the opportunity to be able to give back to my school in the form of being now the current vice president for the Meadowbrook High School Alumni Association, the New York chapter. There's so many good things happening through our Past Students Association, which as we go further into the program tonight, I'll be happy to share. But I'm glad to be back on, and thank you so much, Lance, for asking me to be a part of this very special moment.
Yeah, man. You're welcome, Donna. I'm glad both of you coming in. I appreciate that. So, by now, Andrew, I don't know if you listen. Yeah, you said you have listened to a couple of these conversations. So,
Yes.
the first question we always ask, anybody who come on, did you choose Meadowbrook or Meadowbrook chose you?
Meadowbrook chose me because basically as I said, I took the common entrance. I lived in Havendale at the time. And I think at the time they were zoning. They had started zoning children according to where they lived. I think they were trying a little thing. So you had people who used to put like other addresses so that they would get for the school that they wanted. Okay. And I passed for Meadowbrook. Now, even though I lived nearby, Meadowbrook was a young school and I'd never heard of it. Never in my entire life. And so I was a bit, wow, what school is this? And I remember my parents saying to me, okay, any place that you're put, you can do exactly what you want with it, or we can always try for a transfer. My parents are ardent Catholics, and so that was what they started the transfer process, I think, sometime when I was in the first form. Mm-hmm. And I had the opportunity at that time to transfer to the white uniform school. But by then I'd fallen in love with my friends. And, we're all part of that Meadowbrook Havendale community, Red Hills Road, Hugh and Den, Malines Road. Yeah, that community. And so, one of the funniest stories when you said Meadowbrook chose me is I used to love to ride a bicycle. I'm not diverting, but I used to love to ride bicycle in the evenings. And the first boy I saw when I went to school was a boy who used to terrorize me when I'm riding every day. And he was actually in my Meadowbrook class. I found that so funny. And he became my fast friend, Yes, he became my fast friend. So Meadowbrook chose me.
So you don't want to call out his name, Andrea?
His name, he's of blessed memory. Derek Ballin, Ricky Ballin. All of us call him Ricky.
He's no longer here with us, right?
No longer here.
Right. No, I have to big him up, man. I have to big him up.
Yeah, man.
Man. Yes, I'm glad you brought him. I'm glad I asked you that. Yes.
Yeah, man, he was my brother. Yes, he was my brother.
Yes.
He was and still is beloved.
Yeah. Yes. Ricky Ballin. And a lot of Ballins came to Meadowbrook. I've spoken to the one who didn't come to Meadowbrook at all, Mikey Ballin. He and I are good friends. We talk to him all the while, yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. That's interesting, Andrea. I didn't know that at all. I did not know
that. So riding, as a little girl riding your bicycle, you just see like 6 boys across the road with their bicycle. And then you have to turn and go on the other road. Go. I'm afraid that you don't fall off or anything like that and embarrass yourself.
Boy, Andrea, enough respect. That's on my bucket list. I still have that bastard riding a bicycle.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, what kind of bicycle you ride, Andrea, at them age? In the 1960s?
I used to, the regular,
the chopper, the chopper bicycle?
No, man, not the little chopper. No, man, you ride bicycle, real bicycle.
Oh, the big bicycle, ladies wheel bicycle, them as they call it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, because of course, if you ride a men's wheel, anything could happen if you fell on that bar.
No, man, I know. Girls can't ride the men's wheel at all. No.
So my father bought us the ladies' wheel bicycle.
Yeah.
And it was a joy. So I know how to do everything. I know how to change the tire, how to patch the thing, how to pull it off, and everything. Yeah, man.
And you say us, Andrea, what that mean? That's a sisters and brother come to Meadowbrook too?
2 sisters. No, 2 sisters, and they both went to different schools. Yes.
Oh,
but that's another story.
Yeah, they don't know what I'm missing out on. So now,
No. The joke about it is, one of my sisters, Jerry, actually went on a Meadowbrook trip when they were going to Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Even though she was at another school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, when the 4th form people were going to Mexico on a trip. And my mom heard about it and she said, okay, Jerry, you want to go? And Jerry went with Meadowbrook. And afterwards, Jerry actually taught at Meadowbrook for 1 year. Yes.
Oh, really? What year did she teach, Andrea?
I can't recall. All I know is that she is not much older than some of the people that she taught.
Mm-hmm.
And she taught Spanish, and she has seen people subsequently who have said, their love of Spanish was from when she came there. Because, she was young, nice girl,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
man.
nice memory. That's good.
Driving her MGB GT, the red car,
Oh, to school. Not I remember.
Everybody,
Yeah.
everybody loved her.
Yeah.
Everybody loved her. But she wouldn't have got there as early as that, Prince.
That's what
Not when you were there.
She was a younger
man,
girl. Your sister was younger than you are older.
Just 3 years younger than me. But she actually went to Teachers College at a very early age. So, that's what happened.
No, man. I
Yes.
left Meadowbrook in 82, so it's possible.
It's quite possible. I think
it possible.
could have been.
It possible.
It's quite possible. Quite possible. Because she would have left Teachers College by then.
Right. So it's possible she taught at Meadowbrook High. Possibly, I remember.
Possibly. Her name was Jerome King.
Mm.
So, what I really loved about Meadowbrook is it just gave you so much scope to do so many things, from the very beginning. And I don't know if people realize the quality of the teachers that taught us.
Mm-hmm.
And I really want to highlight that,
Mm-hmm.
I've heard people
That's
talk
a very
about
good
this.
point, Andrew. Very
Yes.
important point.
That's the truth. I've
Mm.
heard many persons talk about Miss Peterkin,
Mhm.
and Miss Peterkin taught English. And, there are certain things that is very difficult for us to do right now. Like, for example, the word REAL. She always said it's real. It's not real. real is REEL.
Yes.
REALLY is really.
So I
It's
pronounce
not-
the A, yeah.
It's not really,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so to this day, I cannot depart from that. She was excellent where that was concerned.
Uh-huh.
We had English teachers like Barbara Brown,
Mhm.
who went on to marry this Spanish teacher.
Mhm.
So we actually had not Barbara, Beverly, and
Beverly
she
Brown.
actually
Okay.
Beverly
Mhm.
Brown. She
Yeah.
actually became legal counsel at the University of the West Indies. And the Spanish teacher, Joe Pereira, he actually became an assistant vice principal at the University of the West Indies.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, these were our teachers
And
who
what about
taught
Mrs.
us.
Leo Riney?
I was going to
Mrs. Leo Riley.
say,
Yes,
yeah,
Mrs.
that's
Leo taught us. Yes, Mrs. Leo taught us biology.
yeah.
And
So-
I mean, she was just really, really good. And I think a lot of us, had she not left when we were in lower six to go and do her DipEd, may have taken a different course of study. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
She was
Who knows?
excellent. She was excellent.
Yeah, see, I've
She was
been in
excellent.
after
She
her
was
this
excellent.
week up at UA.
Yeah, and that excellence has come to the forefront.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. To
The
have
Hall
a
of
building,
Residence.
the Hall of Residence.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's outstanding.
Absolutely.
But Meadowbrook has
Outstanding.
a list of very high profile people at UA as an institution.
That's it.
The chancellor, and now we have Dr. Minerva Thames, who is the first female dean of
Professor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm saying, well, doctor in terms of our MD.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
So, I mean, really, the thing about it is that Meadowbrook, we have tend to, and we have not really publicized a lot of the things that we have done, and that's okay too, So I just love to tell the stories when I see people,
Well,
I just love to tell the stories.
I'm
I
glad
love to tell the
I'm glad
stories.
you tell that, Andrea, because we need to start that more and more. We need to show our story from the mountaintop. Because
Yeah.
From the mountaintop.
nobody now gonna tell it for
True.
you. Nobody now gonna tell it
Oh,
for you.
very
You know
important.
what I'll share?
Yes.
Yeah, recently, Gary reached out with every now and again. We schedule a call, and he shared that his paper,
And Gary, who is that?
Gary Rose.
Rose.
Yeah, he
Yes.
dedicated it to Mrs. Hedlum,
Yes.
and he found it, he dug it up, and I found a way to,
To get it to her.
to get it to her. Yes,
Oh,
yes,
fabulous, fabulous.
yes, because I
Mrs.
think that's
Headlam.
important. Mrs. Headlam,
Mrs.
she was
Headlam was absolutely amazing. She was a chemistry
amazing.
teacher.
Yes,
And whether or not you understood chemistry, she was just very, very, she was so knowledgeable about the students. I remember seeing her many, many years later, and she would ask, did so-and-so marry so-and-so? And you thought, how did she know that they were even friends? And she would
pay close attention.
Yeah, man, she paid attention. She said, Andrew, do you remember the time you brought your mother's tablecloth for the exhibition? And at the end of the thing, it was missing. No, man, she was just amazing. Mrs. Headlam, Mrs. Millwood.
Mrs. Millwood, yeah.
Mrs. Millwood. I heard you on one of your programs ask about expatriate teachers. And we had Mr. Fernando who taught us math.
Remember him, yes.
Yes, and when Mr. Fernando came, it was actually Ceylon. And I think, we're in
the
teacher with the thick.
No, it was Ceylon.
Yeah.
And then it became Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
Because so we're in the class, and he was like all excited because all these changes were going on,
Yeah.
Yes.
So, fantastic. Who is going to forget Mrs. Lawrence who taught art and Miss Fitchett who taught music?
Music.
And,
I'll never forget Miss Fitchett.
Yes, as I talk about Miss Fitchett who taught music because I was a drama student.
Yeah.
And she also had, at her home, up in Irishtown, there was a theater that she had actually built called the Little Glyndebourne Theater.
Yeah. The Little Glyndebourne Theater, yes.
So we would go and rehearse. We'd go and rehearse for the school's drama festival. It was amazing. And she had all of these makeup things that by the time you put on the color, you'd think that we were white people. I thought, my God, what is this?
But remember, she had her thing of songs, and
absolutely,
I still remember the song, Hear My Pleading, Softly Stealing Through the Night to Thee, that opera song.
Yes,
by the way,
she was Roma Doyen Fitchett.
Roma Doyen Fitchett, yes.
Yeah, Roma Doyen Fitchett.
She taught me speech. Was she Jamaican?
No. Roma Doyen Fitchett. No, I don't think she was Jamaican.
Not at all.
She was a proper white lady from somewhere.
I don't know. What is she? I don't know. She was definitely like somewhere England or Scotland or something. But
yes, she was yes. I don't think she was a Jamaican.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
So Andrea, you say you took common entrance in 4th grade. What school did you take common entrance from?
Another prestigious school. The Central Branch Primary School. My goodness.
Everybody
knows.
Everybody knows
Central Branch.
Central Branch.
I went to the Meadowbrook High School. Two of my, I just love my branch people. Many of us are in touch still. Back in the day when I went to branch, like 72 of us were in one class. And I can tell you,
that was humongous.
It was a big class, but guess what? It was fabulous. The teachers were like on point. And there was, we were taught elocution. So we were taught how to speak at primary school. All of those things, And so Central Branch is very near and dear to my heart.
Since she's since Miss Andrea King-Bird is speaking so highly, and definitely she should about her elementary school.
You
are a big shout out
to Melrose Primary.
Melrose Primary, and to my darling teacher, mentor, Mrs. Bryan, who is still alive and in Portmore. And we're in a group, and that's the foundation. Andrea, as you said about the school, that's where we really got the prep, to move on to the next level. And those teachers were outstanding. They were caring. They were not just teachers. They were molding us in a certain way that now that we too are adults and raising kids and so on, we are appreciating it even more what they were
Absolutely,
doing for us.
absolutely. I was able to visit Miss Watson, Mrs. Watson, who taught me in grade 2. I was able to visit her last year, and we had a great conversation, and she was able to remember everything. So that's how I ended up.
Yeah.
But let me ask you a question, Andrea. Very
Yes,
interesting. I want to know.
yes.
Central Branch, if I remember, is in downtown, right?
It is on Slipen Road,
Clapham
and
Road.
we lived in Havendale, and we went to Central Branch.
Right. So
Okay,
there was no school
so
in
we
Havendale.
would
Oh, you're not for
no,
Central Branch. That's a question I ask.
because Central Branch is part of our family tradition.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so my older sister went to Central Branch at Sandra King.
Yeah.
I went to Central Branch, and my younger sister Jerome King went to Central Branch. So people came from everywhere to go to Central Branch. So if you were in Mona, if you were in Havendale, if you were downtown, if you were across the gully, everybody went there, you know.
This is a prestigious
And
school, that's what to say.
and what happened with that is that we were taught not to discriminate from a very early age.
Yeah.
Because you had a melting pot of people,
Yeah.
and it was like no discrimination. Nobody cares where you came from, you know.
Yeah.
You just come with your good behavior. I mean, that time you used to have a bus service that was very efficient.
Yeah.
So, you know, you could go to the bus
Yeah,
stop
that's
for 6.
true.
Yes, you could go to the bus stop for the 6:30 bus and get the bus to go to school, you know.
Cool.
No
Yeah.
problem. And you could have fun with your friends on Orange Street and wait for your bus to go home in the evening and all of that.
There was a bus schedule, Andrea. You could look at the bus schedule and know what time the bus comes.
Absolutely. I know what
Yeah.
time the bus is coming. So, you know,
Yeah, that
they
is
never
true.
ever reach to work late, you know.
Our
You never
school,
reach to
yes.
school late.
Yeah.
You never reach to school late, you know.
Yeah.
But back to Meadowbrook, a very important thing happened when I was in the first form is that a wonderful prefect, her name is Colleen Cowan. One day, because, you know, I like to talk, man, like to talk. And she gave me lines to write. And it says, empty barrels make the most noise. And I wrote, and I think she gave me about 400 lines. And I wrote, and I wrote, and I wrote, and I wrote, and I wrote. But for some reason, she became attracted to me as a student, probably because I used to like to talk. And she was a Saundersite.
Mm-hmm.
She was
I
a
hear
captain of
that.
Saunders. And she said to me, why don't you practice to do debating? And so at that point in time, in the first form, I started to become a debater. And with the help of Colleen Cowan, I don't remember anybody else, actually debated for my entire period of life from first all the way up to upper sixth. And I recall, and, you know, people talk about you're not blowing a trumpet, but it's truth. I won a prize in every division.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was actually in the fourth form, after prize giving, I remember leaving out of the hall and Mr. Thorpe coming to me and he said, King, because, you know, many times they addressed you by your last name.
Last name.
Yeah.
Yes, King.
And sometimes first and last name.
That is it, you know. And he said, King, I think you should consider doing the law. And, you know,
never broke off.
Yes, he planted that seed. So I didn't do the law because, you know, some people do things because of prestige and whatever. I did it because it was something that was practical. I thought it was something I could do and I would enjoy doing it. So, you know, Colleen Cowan, debating and all of that. But the best debating story I have, sorry, Donna, the best debating story I have, and every now and then I have to really, really just chuckle, is that all the way from first to sixth form, you know, sometimes people are in different divisions.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't cross over. So the best debaters, perhaps in another year, like the year below you, you may not meet them in your division until you are like in upper sixth.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So there was an excellent debater from Rothney House, of course, who will remain unnamed, and it's not done.
It's not. No, I wouldn't claim that prize. In my memory, I'm still in Oliver debating.
No. Yeah, I don't remember. That's not the one I'm talking about. I'm talking about the match that stands out in my mind. Until now, from 19, whenever.
Okay.
Because it was a match you see, as children, other children wouldn't realize how important that was. But it was a match of match because
Yeah.
this particular person was supposed to be like really, really very good. So we met in the upper sixth.
Yeah.
And one thing
Oh,
for
I think I know.
one
I
thing for
think I know
me,
who that
one
it
thing
is.
for me, yes.
Yes, I got it.
I do not memorize things, like read them and memorize them and then repeat it word for word and stuff. And so when the battle got hot, man, oh my, the person forgot what they had studied. And I said, it's all over now. It's done.
Yeah. Andrea was by far one of the great debaters.
I had looked forward to that for many years. So that is one of my great memories.
Yes.
Another great memory for me is that, Miss McLennan, she taught us Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
And she did an excellent job. I mean, I can listen to, I may not be fluent in speaking, but I can listen. I can go to a conference and I can hear people speaking in Spanish and I can understand, She was just
had that
brilliant.
skill with us. Yeah, she was brilliant.
She made us that vocabulary, And so, such a good foundation. We had excellent teachers. When it came to English literature, Idonna?
English literature was my favorite because of the teacher we had.
Yes.
The thing about what I will say about Meadowbrook is that there was an investment in the teachers approached us that they were investing in us.
Absolutely.
I think they spotted a number of us where our strengths were, and they groomed us and they helped to, take us down the path that they thought maybe would be right for us. Because, like as Andrea said, with the debaters, most of the strong debaters at Meadowbrook ended up in law, in my opinion, because it's kind of, that was a ground, that thing. I was never a good debater. I enjoyed being a part of the team, but that was not I would never say to anybody I was a great debater. I was just on my team doing for rough the house.
But
I enjoyed it.
And that is fantastic because you always have to play the game.
Yeah, I admire those who were just really excellent at it. What I like, and still to this day I like to be in a role of leadership where I'm organizing things. And I like to be involved. I don't like to be a bench warmer. So I see myself, I remember my days of Meadowbrook is getting involved and learning and so on. But debates...
We were always planning things. We're always planning things. We're always having concerts and we got like the big
student
youth
council.
And we got
science
youth to come.
Yes.
We had
before we get into that, Andrea, let me ask a question. Because both of you mentioned something now, and you can take this first, Andrea.
Yes.
Did both of you realize that going to Meadowbrook at the time, you were amongst a special set of students and teachers? Did you realize how special it was to be at Meadowbrook at the time?
Absolutely. I mean, I used to just laugh at my other friends, because I just knew that we're in a very, very special environment. I had a special birthday some years ago, and people who didn't go to Meadowbrook fly from America and come to the birthday party in Jamaica, because Meadowbrook was like that. It was a community. Yeah. It wasn't just a school,
As a matter of fact, remember that time? At that time, the group of us as classmates that Andrew's talking about, we celebrated each other's milestone birthday from continent to continent. I know I went to the Bahamas to celebrate Olympe. We went to Ricky Ballin. Remember, we went to Ricky Ballin. And our dear friend who is still up north, Maury, came down from Canada. It was like that. And recently there was a big reunion in the Bahamas to celebrate. You saw that with
you posted that today.
It's right. It's a tradition of that more than camaraderie, family.
As you talk about parties, so I say we always were planning things,
Yes.
And it was a big thing at the end of the year. You always have a big party, class party. But our
Yes.
class party was not just cake and ice cream party.
Yes.
So I remember we had a party and we had this one now at Lorna Richards' house, another classmate. And we were youngsters, but we could cook. Right, Donna? We could
Oh,
cook
yes.
very,
I will
very
tell you
well.
about Andrea get me in trouble
We could
with our
cook very,
cooking.
we could cook very, very well. So, I mean, we're having a party, and it's like 100 people are coming to this party, and our parents are not going to be cooking anything, right? And I remember we had the menu was curried chicken and vermicelli rice. And one of somebody
Andrea used to love that vermicelli.
Yes, because it's delicious.
And what farm were you at the time, Andrea? What grade?
Fourth form.
Okay, yeah.
And one of the guys said, vermicelli rice? I never hear about that yet. No, when you want that? Blah, blah, blah. And but I was Andrea King, still am. And I was Andrea King-Bird. So I don't care, I know it tastes good.
Yeah.
With this humongous amount of food. And people come through, they come. And they ate. I mean, all when the plates were finished, they were eating on the serving. The food
yes. Yes.
In today's the food sell off, know.
But the thing about those days, Lance, the parties, right? It was so funny. Friday, Saturday night, it was like of course, well, I don't want to say social media, but it was word of mouth, and I don't know how it would go so quickly. Everybody knew where, right? And then you go bounce from one place to the next, street to street.
Yeah, Meadowbrook was like that. But forgive me for asking, what is vermicelli rice? Andrea, explain that to me.
Okay, vermicelli is a type of like a little spaghetti.
It's a vermicelli or vermicelli?
Vermicelli.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, vermicelli. And you can't give out my secret, but you prepare the vermicelli in a particular way, and it is added to the rice, and it's delicious.
And I've never heard
really
before,
good.
Andrea. What is vermicelli?
Yes.
It's a
type of spaghetti, a very, very
okay.
A very thin spaghetti.
Okay.
Yes. Prepare it.
I'm learning tonight, Andrea. Forgive me. I have to ask. When I hear a word that I never hear before, I said,
but that makes a lot of sense, of course.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
But
we loved parties. Yes.
Love the party.
We love to prepare for the party. Not probably too much of a party animal, but we'll prepare for the party.
To prepare for the party. And then the good thing is in sharing. Like the party is one thing. The music was something you talk about for days. But having that background where you have people coming from different walks of life too, and I like blending, because like Lorna's dad was a good entrepreneur with his restaurant and when we go to Lorna's house, you're getting like such a great meal. I'll never forget my first dinner with my dad at his restaurant. I remember what I ate to this day. And I told Lorna,
amazing.
Dinner with my dad at Lorna's restaurant. Right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Where was that good. This
was near my school.
Beachwood Avenue.
Beachwood
Avenue.
Okay.
It was near Melrose too. Yeah, my own. Yeah.
Yes.
But I talk about that, Donna, Andrea. What some of the other friends that me call? What some of the other friends that me met when you just came in?
Hello. There's a group of us that used to work together, and that is Donna White, Audrey Jackson, Maureen Malcolm, and myself, and Maureen White. All right?
Yes.
So Maureen White used to be friends with Ollie Mae Brown,
Yeah.
But Maureen
came from the Bahamas.
Came from the Bahamas to school. So that was like a little group that has remained together until this day,
Today.
you know?
Yeah.
Until this day. And of course, the men who are in our class, you know, I won't start calling one name, because if I go and call one name and don't call the other,
The other name?
they're
Yeah.
in trouble. But that was our little crew.
Mhm.
And everybody, you know, I'm in Saunders, Donna is in Rafney, Maureen, and
Ward House.
Audrey are in Ward House.
And yes. They
Maureen
still
was in Rafney
terrorize
too.
me to this day about their
I think
Ward
Maureen was
House.
still in Rafney too, right?
Maureen was in Rafney, so I
She was
had
in
company
Rafney
with
too.
Rafney. Yes.
Yes, you know.
Mhm.
So, and everybody very, very firm about like their house and how they felt about that. It was such a great thing, And an important thing too about Meadowbrook is that at the time Meadowbrook was a complete grammar school. Grammar school meaning that we didn't teach things like woodwork and cookery and stuff at the time.
Yeah, at the time, yes.
At the time, and Mr. Thorpe was always very proud that we were a grammar school.
Yes.
He just loved that. Another thing about Mr. Thorpe, 1 second, Donna, is that
no, go ahead.
There are some trees at the front of the school, and Jamaican people, we say willow tree.
Yes.
Willow trees.
Yeah.
Oh no. Mr. Thorpe said, those are not willow trees, those are casuarinas.
That's a biological name for it, Andrea.
But I'm telling you, yes, he said, those are casuarinas. I mean, the things, But tell them about the parties we used to, the concerts, man. We used to have the best concerts.
Were good. But, I was reading something that someone had written an article for one of our journals some years ago, and she was proudly mentioning that, like as you're saying, we were a grammar school, that there was dance and drama and music and singing, black culture, chemistry, opera, debate, Christian studies, hockey, softball, basketball, table tennis, lawn tennis, the cadets, the girls' guides, and chess. And I was like, wow, I did not remember chess, but that came up in her memory. Yeah.
Probably Gary was playing chess,
Yes.
But, no, the exposure, because I also danced a lot in my life, because I did creative dancing, and drama. So I always enjoy the stage. Always enjoy that, So Meadowbrook, as Don always talks about it, and is the truth, we went to the school science fair for Jamaica when we were in the fourth form.
And I thought you were in fifth form, Andrea.
No, we're in the fourth form because we're in the fourth form, and we did and our theme was smoking is a drag.
Yes.
And so Oswald Mattis, who is going to be honored in April, Donna, I know will tell you all about that. Ozzy, who is our resident fabulous artist forever.
Yes.
He drew the skeletal hand.
He was in Rodney, Andrea. Remember, he was in Rodney.
Oh dear.
Yes.
Oh yes.
I didn't know that part.
A lot of
yes. He was fabulous. Always loved Ozzy. And so he drew the skeletal hand holding a cigarette,
Yeah.
And we took we took lizards with us.
Yes. Yeah,
and we made like a smoke chamber.
Yes.
And the most exciting part for the boys was that they had to blow smoke through the chamber.
Of course.
Yes. And when they blew the smoke through the chamber, the lizards wouldn't move.
Yeah.
They just got still. You could just lift them up and put them on,
Yes.
So that was very good, and we got a special commendation for that.
Yes, we did.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I think that
because it was so visual, graphic.
Yes,
to see the effects. Yeah, before your eyes.
That the smoking really had. So that is one of my great memories.
We take pride in having pictures of that experience, in that big competition. And Lance, in those days, Meadowbrook, we didn't have a lot of money in terms of, fancy labs that should be properly equipped, but it didn't stop us from competing.
Yeah.
Because when we went, I don't know if you remember, there was a butterfly exhibition or something in that science fair from one of those either Wilmot or St. Andrews. And that thing was so magnificent. I mean, you could just see the money that was put into those other schools for their exhibition. Ours was, we used our heads and
cartridge paper.
Yes, cartridge paper. We made our box and paint it up and things. and we were proud because
We
we,
were
like you said,
proud. Yes,
proud. Yeah, and that
absolutely.
speaking of pride, that Meadowbrook pride exuded through our very spirit, soul, through us. I mean, it for from all the way up to sixth form. It was
Absolutely.
right. It was something that we the areas, like I know, Lance, in your era, it was about the cricket and the sports and all the championships that came in. But prior to your era, I mean, we walked with
Academic.
our heads up,
A lot of,
academically.
yes,
Well,
a
well,
lot of
well, let
academics.
me ask a question about that era there. Before you
Yes.
bring that up, Donna,
Uh-huh.
because I want to ask a question about that. You
Yes.
guys became of age during, in my mind, the most, the word I want to look for is like, there was a big turning point in the history of Jamaica.
Black power, Africa.
Black power,
Oh
Orange
yeah.
movement,
Oh
and
yeah.
Rastafari
The
came
whole man
together
of
in the late
Absolutely.
70s when I come of age. What effect
Yes.
that had?
Yeah,
That,
but no, but even
yeah, go ahead.
even before that, we were always very black conscious. All of
Yes,
us.
we were.
From
Because
the first form,
yes.
we
When
were
I
black
came
conscious.
to Meadowbrook, coming
Mhm.
from Melrose, to this
Yeah.
day, what I remember in my years at Melrose Primary was meeting one of, I think, the second wife for Marcus Garvey. She had no
Mm.
car. She would come, take the bus, walk. She walked and took bus and visited the primary schools to teach about Marcus Garvey. So
Mm.
that was my first encounter with, Black pride and knowledge about and he wasn't a hero. He wasn't
At that time, no,
at
not
that
at all.
time.
Oh, no,
He
you
was
became
just
a national hero afterwards, right, that's right.
afterwards, right? So that's why it was significant, and it made me think, and I was like, wow, this lady, she was teaching us. I never forgot it, and
Yep.
and our principal at that school, Mr. Jackson, was visionary to understand the importance to have her
Bringing
come
her.
and
Yeah, that
yes,
was excellent. That was
yes,
excellent.
to speak with us. So from then, I planted a seed in me coming to Meadowbrook. We got more exposure and learnings, and about who we are as a people. And so to this day, I get very sensitive, like coming abroad, and when people use the word hero so liberally and loosely,
Yeah.
I, it's like it was already put in me what a hero means.
Yeah.
What
Absolutely.
okay.
And Prince, for us, as women, as girls growing up at that time, how you showed your black pride was how we wore our hair,
Afros.
And
Yes.
so yes, but don't think you just got to wear an afro, because remember, most of your parents probably would have wanted you to have your hair processed.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So
Yes,
just the act of you not processing your hair
Was a statement.
was a statement. It was rebellion,
Yeah.
It
And,
was rebellion.
and all of us, I mean, everybody wore their natural hair.
Andrea, don't forget about the long dress them.
No,
Yeah.
that's a different thing. That's a different thing. I'll tell you that story afterwards.
Yeah, Andrea was the leader for that.
I'll tell you the story afterwards. But
Yeah.
the hair thing,
thing.
was right? So who used to wear, we used to wear big afro. Donna had one of the biggest afro, we used to call souls.
Yeah.
Big afro, Maureen White, big afro.
Big
We have
afro.
Everybody wore cane rose and whatever, because we were conscious of our blackness,
Well, that's
More
a statement.
conscious.
That's a statement.
Yeah, man, from straight through, right?
Yeah,
And we used to wear, with all of that, we used to still have on, it was the micro mini time, right? Everybody had on their mini dress and whatever. But you can't doubt what we are thinking,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yes. So that was very, very clear. We had a lot of black pride.
We met objections, though ridicule,
Of
as a
course,
better
of
word,
course,
for
of course.
choosing to
Yes.
to
Identify that way.
right, to
Yeah,
portray ourselves that way. We were laughed at.
You mean for wearing the
Absolutely.
afros?
Yeah,
The
because
more-
people wanted to have your hair processed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what the in
I
thing.
mean,
That's the in thing at the time. Yeah.
The truth is, remember, at that time, the accepted magazine look for beauty
Oh
You
yes,
know, was
absolutely.
very sculpted features and, straightened hair.
You remember?
That was the
Yeah.
Hold on,
youth.
Donna. As you talk, you remember the song? Long hair freaky people need not apply.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. We
But,
know. Yes.
but actually,
No,
someone
yeah, freaky
sent
people. It's the
me,
truth. Uh-huh.
yeah,
But it's not that
someone
it's not
sent,
that we. Go ahead, Donna. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, the ads in the Gleaner for
Yeah.
like air, what we used to call them, stewardess, flight
Yes.
Yeah,
attendant.
yeah, 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 yeah.
It I didn't,
It
I
would
saw it.
specify.
It was very specific. You
Mm-hmm,
had to weigh 125 pounds. Your
mm-hmm.
skin tone was mentioned. Your
Yes.
hair, all of that, and that was the norm. That was
Yes.
it wasn't considered politically incorrect or nothing. That's what they
Absolutely not.
wanted for that job, and it was okay to
But
say
what?
that that's a client that would be interviewed.
Yeah, because you have to understand that even today we are in a classist society in Jamaica, and people
Yeah,
make lots of differentiation about how you look, where you live, where you
yeah.
come from, what you do, and that sort of thing.
I know my
Um,
personal experience, even with
yeah.
being going to church, and Andrea is a devout Catholic. I was in the Episcopal. My mom was Episcopalian, and then she converted. But I wanted to be on the altar, and my priest was a black man, and he wouldn't allow it.
Can you imagine?
I know
It
he
is
wouldn't allow it. Oh, yeah, he selected the brown-skinned girls. He did the
Yeah.
families who were affluent and lighter skin. That was prevalent in those days. And when I started working at Bank of Jamaica, I left Meadowbrook. I remember my mom. We had a tenant there, and a young girl. She had a son, and mommy told her to come to church. She would want her to become the baby to be christened. And the priest turned him away because the name
What?
of the child was going to be African. Yeah.
Oh
He
my
said,
goodness!
no,
Wow, wow,
it's
wow,
not
wow.
Amari.
And
It's
what year?
not a
And what year was
Christian
that? What
name.
year was this, Donna? When you leave school?
I mean, yeah. It was in the 70s.
In the mid
It was
So
'70s.
can you
Okay.
the
imagine that
late,
still in the
yeah,
70s?
in
You
the
can imagine
70s.
you can imagine. So we went through, as you say, a lot of changes, and
Yes.
people thought that this whole thing about the uniform thing didn't had nothing to do with Rastafari or anything like that.
You mean the
But
long
it actually
uniform?
the long uniforms had nothing to do with that. What it was is that, going up what they call it now, the second, that block.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yes, yes.
I mean, it was challenging for young girls.
Because the
Yeah.
way the shot just go up the block.
Yeah.
It's a co-educational school.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And when we were in the fourth form, a group of us, again, the same little group of people, we came together and said, you know what, these uniforms have to let down because, it's too stressful.
Yeah.
It's too
Yeah.
stressful because, you're sitting in class,
You have
Yeah.
to
it was
draw
too
down your skirt to
stressful.
your knee. I hear you.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
So we decided that we're going to lower our uniforms. And I think we decided on 4 inches below our knee.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we did that.
Yes. Yes,
And we came
did.
back to school and it was, wow, what an uproar.
It was an
Wait.
uproar.
It
Yeah.
was a disaster for a lot. Oh
Yeah.
my God. And it went on and on. And the
We
funniest
were teased mercilessly.
Oh, yeah,
Andrea's being kind.
mercilessly. But I think the most but guess what? You see the strong-headed women? We didn't care.
Didn't
Yeah.
care. We didn't care.
We didn't care.
And
And,
you know something? Our pride, our black
Yes.
pride,
Yes.
was like we were at that turning point in our lives where we were enlightened. Like we were taking a stand, and Black Power was big, and not just Black Power. I know the political side had an influence on me with changes towards democratic socialism. That was of interest to me. It was something different coming off of. I can't say coming off of.
I don't want to cut you down. I
Right.
don't want to just end that little joke, that the biggest joke that we got from that whole encounter
Yes.
was two things. One, when we went into the fifth form, we got a male, what do you call it now? The person who is in charge of the form,
Prefect?
we got a
Prefect?
man.
Prefect?
No, man, not a prefect, man.
What?
No, the class.
The class
person,
teacher?
Yeah, the class teacher, but you know,
A
they always
homeroom
had a
teacher?
teacher.
Homeroom, we
Like,
call it. Yeah.
yeah, you know, but we don't call it homeroom. I
No,
don't
no,
remember what it
homeroom card. I know what you're talking.
right?
He was a class teacher,
So
yeah.
he was a class teacher for that. He was in charge of that. And when we came to the class today, he said, "Oh, I'm so glad to get this bunch of grannies."
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh my.
so we said to ourselves, "Wait, this man really want to embarrass us
Yeah.
Yeah.
in front of everybody, you
Yeah.
know?" And
Yeah.
unfortunately for him, these were all bright girls. So I mean, we did
Yeah.
not care less.
Did not
And
care.
before we left the Meadowbrook High School, everyone had to lower their uniforms to
Yes.
4 inches below their knee. Okay?
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
changed the
So
fashion. And it
there
set
went
a fashion
Yes.
statement inside. More than a fashion statement, yes.
thank
Yeah.
you very much.
We
Right?
wouldn't relent, and then so
Yeah.
our thing just became now the
Became the
standard.
The
norm.
norm, the
Yeah.
norm, yes.
The
Yeah.
norm. And
Yeah.
it was and it became a rule
Yeah.
that the uniform should be 4 inches below the knee, you
And it
know?
changed the
Yeah.
rules.
And the rule was changed. The rule was changed because they saw that it made sense. And what I'd love for the persons who are there now at school now is to understand that there are some things like, I mean, you couldn't never stand up like under the big tree down on Chancery Street. A Meadowbrook person
Yeah.
in a uniform.
In a uniform.
You
Yeah.
could be like eating out of a patty bag. A Meadowbrook person. I mean, people just like, who is that? You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And by the time you went back to school, you'd probably hear that you're eating patty on the road, you know?
Yeah, the whole
Oh,
yes. For some reason that yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't mind right now if I see medical people on the road. I just love to friend them up, and I don't say anything. I don't say, "Hi, you do? Are you in Saunders' house by any chance?"
Mhm.
And then, you get to have a nice little conversation, But if people could understand that it was a big thing,
Yeah.
you're not going to catch up anywhere because you got a privilege.
Yes.
You are at the Meadowbrook High School.
Yeah.
It's a privilege to be there. So you have to
Yes.
differentiate how you behave as
How you
it relates
behave. Yes. We had
to that road,
standards. We had
I like
standards.
It was
and we
it
took
was
pride.
awesome.
I
It was
love what you
awesome.
said, Andrea. The Meadowbrook High School. Like when people say the YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, man, the Meadowbrook High School, man. It can never be for me, Meadowbrook
It
High
is
School.
the Meadowbrook High School. I
It
hear
is
you.
Yeah.
and I call it that all the time.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
went
yeah,
to
yeah.
Meadowbrook High School.
Oh yeah. It's a cut above. It's a
Yeah,
cut
First,
yeah,
above.
it's a
yeah,
cut
yeah.
above. Nobody will know. You would have had to experience it.
Yeah.
Really, and I am so grateful that it chose me.
Yeah.
Because I was myself in the environment, and I was able to lead at all levels, and it was very, 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 very
I
good
can mention that,
experience.
Andrea. Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
You think if you had gone to another school, you would have been able to express yourself the way you did at Meadowbrook?
Possibly not, because if I ended up going to the school with the white uniform, I would definitely have had the wrong skin color to be in leadership of any sort,
Mm-hmm.
And that was our
So-
reality. That
so,
was our reality. Mhm.
But at the time you wouldn't know, you wouldn't know,
Mm-hmm.
For example, my sister that I spoke about earlier, she went to one of the schools in Halfway Tree. I'm not giving anybody any props
Mm-hmm.
because the story is not a good story. Is that she was asked to play netball because we are tall and we are black skin,
Mm-hmm.
and she, for all her time that she was at that school, was not allowed to play lawn tennis.
Oh.
Mm.
But subsequent to leaving there, she became like a tennis champion,
Yeah.
because she was winning tournaments, playing at Ligani Club and whatever.
Yeah.
So
But
the
Right.
reality is that the discrimination was there.
Oh, definitely.
Meadowbrook had
Andrea.
let me tell you, Meadowbrook, there was no place for that. Chinese people were there, white people were there, this people were there, that people were there, people from all over.
All over.
Nobody cared.
I think it existed, but in far less. I'm not gonna say no. It existed. The skin color thing was there, but it wasn't it didn't lead. It wasn't in the front.
I put it down. I put it said never come from the top.
Right. That is more in line with what Andrea
It didn't come from the top.
Yes.
I mean, all the
and I really, I mean, I don't really remember it as such. Because as I said, we just got to do what we were doing.
People have their one clique and who them like and all
once you were bright and were doing your work and stuff, I mean, who cares, you know?
Yeah.
And who cares? And so that was so very special that we got to do many, many things. And you said hockey a while ago. I remember the one time I played a hockey game and nearly broke my little finger. That was the beginning and the end of hockey for
that
me.
stick, that field hockey. I tried it and in and out. I was like,
I could warm the bench for a netball match, but I wouldn't be a first pick. Because they wouldn't be smart if they're going to give me first pick. But I could do a defense at all.
Yeah.
Like, if you want a goal defense, but I could be a goal defense, you know.
The story you're telling though, Andrea, is the same story Hazel told us. And she was the first.
Really?
She came to Meadowbrook from one of those schools at half a tree. We're not going to call them name, right?
Yes.
Can go back and listen to if they want. Or they should go back and listen to Hazel's story. And it was a different, she come to Meadowbrook and she felt at home. See, I'm saying, I think she got the sister at the school didn't want her because of how her behavior, I think it was. I don't remember. I forgot to listen about the story. But the same story, it come to Meadowbrook and she felt at home. And nothing to her like Meadowbrook. Nothing to her like Meadowbrook.
Yeah, Meadowbrook was a home for many unwanted from many high schools. Wasn't that so, Donna?
Absolutely,
a lot of our male counterparts came from other schools because they just didn't behave, conform. They were giving trouble, so and so. And they came to Meadowbrook and did brilliantly. Did brilliantly, you know.
That has been a common theme that has run through these Meadowbrook memories, right, lads?
It is all embracing. I went to tell you the story. Just to make the point. This week, Monday night, I did a conversation with three sisters, right? And they came to Meadowbrook from the inner city. And when one of them was in sixth form, and she told the story, right? But when the story come, people hear her name. And she got pregnant in sixth form, which we went to take A-levels. And the teachers at Meadowbrook rallied round her and made sure she did her A-levels.
Of course.
Nobody didn't shame her, Donna, and throw her out and turn them back on her. They embraced her. Dr. Morris. You might tell you, embrace her and make sure she pass her and take her A-level. You see what I'm saying?
And there are several stories of that.
Right. I know.
And the thing about it is that, you know, the support system.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, we've had people who have had to leave the school and transfer to another school, but with the understanding that they're going to re-enter a school of equivalent quality, you know, and go right through, you know.
Yes.
So it was an amazing experience.
It was
an amazing experience.
Because I know someone shared with me, she went to school more in the 80s, you know, that she came from another school because she was pregnant, came to Meadowbrook, but the support system, you know, it was the teachers knew and they made sure that she got a chance to progress and come to fulfill what she had to do in terms of our academics, you know. The pregnancy was not held against her. They actually made sure, looked out more for you, knowing, you know, that you have a challenge. That you have a challenge, yes.
I am happy I don't have any brothers, and I'm happy that I was able to grow up among men. Because they are the brothers that I have, you know.
Yes.
I went to a co-ed primary school, and a lot of those men are my brothers until today. And the ones who went to Meadowbrook, you know, it's just like that.
Yeah, it was definitely a family thing. Yeah.
By the way, ladies, I've asked you this question. Two questions.
Yes.
One about Robin Grant and one about Pekka. Did Robin Grant was at school with Uno as a teacher or as a student?
Teacher. He taught us in sixth form. I never forgot. He taught us general paper in the sixth form. And the reason why I remember is because I wrote an essay, and I think it probably was a little too wordy. and he wrote in the column, succinctly, please. I never forget that.
This was the
Succinctly,
gentleman known
please.
for his
You know?
Yeah, man. Say
Yes.
one, Donna.
Yeah.
Succinctly, please, you know.
Oh,
And
gosh.
so that was that, you know.
Oh
and
my
Pekka,
God.
of course, Pekka is a tradition.
Yeah, but I want
Yes.
to ask a question, Andrea.
Yes.
What you
Pekka
went for?
started-
Pekka was there?
Yes, man. Pekka was
Yeah.
outside
Yeah,
for
he was
many, many
outside,
years.
yeah.
He was on the sidewalk for many, many years.
Yeah,
Wasn't
until he
Miss
was home.
McLennan very strict about him in those days? About
Yeah, man, we shouldn't go out there and buy things. But you know, I think that's the only place where the boys could get like bun and patty and those
yeah.
strange combinations of food until he was upgraded and brought inside. You know?
It was a
Because-
revolt. Hold on, let me tell that story, Andrea. That was a revolt
yes,
that caused that. You know. What had happened is that they built the gate at Meadowbrook. That is there. Remember, Meadowbrook didn't have the big gate, you know. It was a willow tree, and so Pekka you could have step over the fence. You didn't have to go outside. Just over the fence and buy from Pekka. So they big the bill. And them no want to let in Pekka. I was in 6 at the time. I was saying, no way. If Pekka now come in, the canteen now sell a lunch.
But you know what I'm proud of is that we honored Pekka.
Yes, I
before he
heard about
died.
that. Mrs. Johnson
Yes,
told
we
us about
honored
that.
Pekka. Yes,
that's wonderful.
we brought him to school and we in the auditorium and we honored him, gave him a certificate, gave him a little something, and honored him before he died. Because he too was a guiding light, especially for the boys.
For the boys, yes.
Yeah, man, he
was responsible for feeding them.
Yeah, man. He was really.
He's one of those who have to get honorary Meadowbrook status, man. I'm glad you guys honored him. Yes.
Oh man, Pekka Palace. So.
Yeah.
And you know what I haven't said, and I was on the board of Meadowbrook for probably close to 20 years, you know.
20 years.
Before social media, Facebook, WhatsApp, and whatever, you know. And I would have continued to serve, but I did have a disagreement with the fact that fast food entity was being brought on the campus. And I did not agree with that. I thought that we should have continued to provide balanced meals for children, and not just bring, you know, and I think I fell out of favor at the time.
Yes.
Because that's the way the school was going, you know. And and so, but it was my honor to serve, and it was really good. So I was with Mrs. Lowe, Dr. Morris, both of their regimes, and they really put in a lot into that school. And I really hope that, going forward, sometimes we may think that we are paid, but it's not that. It's that certain things that you learn, you have to carry it forward. You have to really carry it forward. You can't pretend that you don't know.
Right,
and
right.
When someone doesn't know something, you just don't know it. I'm an adult, and when I don't know something, I just know I don't know it, and I have to go and find out about it. And so I don't want there to be too much of a big division of this one, young one, old one, in between one, because Glista, Donna, me, all of us came there in the first form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And right through. So we all know what being a child is, But we know too that being a child, you have to have some guidance.
Yeah.
No matter what,
That's a fact. Yeah.
Yes, we were given a lot of leeway. Because I tell you, we put on big cards. It's one of the things that I'm proud of. Because when we could bring in Big Youth and Scotty and all of those people.
Yeah.
And our headmaster allowed us, like fourth formers, to do things like that.
And he was a tough, like, general.
He was, yes. And if he said the concert is to end at 10 o'clock in the night, you'll see his dogs coming in front of him because he didn't finish it. And you see the dogs come. Yeah. And of course, two or three of us would run outside and say, Mr. Thorpe, please, can we have half an hour more? But he's not going to move from out there, but he'll say, okay. And you get your half an hour and you clean up and you do your thing,
Yeah.
So with
Yes.
everything comes responsibility, no matter what you
Yeah.
do. And
So many big name, big
yes,
artists now, back
came
back in
out of
their
Meadowbrook.
days, they came out
True.
of Meadowbrook,
Yes,
and
coming to those concerts. True,
sure,
true.
performing for nothing. It was about
Yes.
being seen, and that's how records were sold in those times. But it was a thrill. I mean, we're talking about, and Calabar was on Reddit's Road down there. It's people coming from all over. Concert at Meadowbrook. That hall
Concert
was
at Meadowbrook is a big thing.
big thing,
Meadowbrook
big
having a
thing.
concert. Meadowbrook having a barbecue. Oh my goodness.
Oh my
You can't miss
goodness.
that. Can't miss that,
Yes.
So,
And the draw too was a co-ed school, so
Yeah,
of
they
yeah.
were
course,
like,
girls
Can't lose
I
that
can
at all,
be
Donna, no.
girls are gonna be there,
Yeah,
girls are gonna be there.
Trailer road, as them say, trailer road a girl that shabba would say, yes. Then container load, I forget
What
that.
is
Yeah.
what is fascinating. It's fascinating.
It sure is, boy.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, it concerns me that the school pride issue has taken a shift, and not just at Meadowbrook, just in schools across the board. And there's so many different reasons for it, which we can't analyze tonight. But the isolation during COVID didn't help any.
Certainly did not. It certainly did not.
But,
and I'm just wondering, there's so much we can do,
well,
lads.
I'm glad you bring up that, Donna. Let me ask a question to you, Andrea. Let me ask a question.
Yes.
As an old student asked me to ask this question, I want them to say, what do you think we can do to inspire old students to want to give back to Meadowbrook?
Well, I don't know if you can do something to inspire somebody, I think they just need to be reminded of what the school did for them. If they're, perhaps your Meadowbrook memories, when people listen, they'll really remember that, I went to that school at Meadowbrook Avenue and it did so and so for me, because sometimes people forget. They don't even
forget.
They just move on and they don't even recall that part of their lives. So, because of the schools that normally have like the sports teams and they, people rally around the sports, and we have not been so much that inclined apart from our Sunlight Cup,
And that has been years. That has been years, Andrea.
Yeah, years ago.
40 years ago, yeah.
Yes. But those things, that, so we have to work with what we have. We have to work with discipline. We have to work with academics. We have to work with. We're a school that is located in a very, very salubrious surroundings.
Ideal location.
Yes, you understand.
Yes.
So we have to work with what we have. People get to come uptown to school.
Right.
And things like that. You have to really work with what you have and let people really know the quality of persons who came out of the school on the entertainment side, on the academic side, because I said I think we have really kept very, very quiet about our chief. Yes, we have kept very, very quiet about our things.
Go ahead, Donna, and then I say something. You go ahead.
All right, say what you said, and then because I
wanted to say,
that.
I was speaking to somebody, the same young lady I introduced you to. She went to Meadowbrook 2003, 2011. And when I was asking her about some of the history of Meadowbrook, she didn't know.
She would
and
know.
That's why
and I'm saying it's almost like and this is one of the reasons why I started the podcast. I wanted to fill my black hole. I said I didn't want what we did in the 80s to just disappear like it never happened at all.
Yes.
But it's a bigger hole than that we have to fill because almost like
it's huge. It's huge.
The history of Meadowbrook from the phone. I'm glad you coming now, earlier than me, and I tell the stories, The history has never been told. Without the history, the people can't. The people come.
But it can be fixed.
It can be fixed, of course, and it needs to be fixed.
And I'd like to weigh in on that. Because so a couple of things. First, when we say people like past students who are, not coming back and so on, with people leaving schools, whether it's high school or a tertiary institution, then they tend to then move on to their careers, and some it takes them, around the world. We have a Meadowbrook person I'm sure in Australia. We're just last year. Remember, there's a young man in Ireland or something. He came for homecoming last week. As like, we're everywhere. But having said that, what I've come across is not that people necessarily forget. They are not. They want to be approached. It's like they don't realize that it's okay. It's your school still, even though you're not there. That you can come and just request to even speak to the principal or a teacher. There's a little divide. Like they're thinking, oh well, I've left it a long time ago. I don't know anybody there, and so on. And why I'm saying that is that I actually, because of the incidents that took place, these viral videos and a lot of things just going, I really got upset about it. And I'm not alone. Like a wider past student community, we're saying, no, this is not how we were. What can we do? And there's a lot we can do. Number one, the students coming in, I think Meadowbrook past students and teachers need to get together, and we're working on it right now, calling it the Face of Meadowbrook campaign, where when a student comes in 7th grade, that we put something in the curriculum, whether it's a 15-minute, half an hour, whatever, some program where the history of Meadowbrook from the founders or something is introduced. They know what
Very
the motto
important.
is. Yeah, they
Very
should know their
important.
school motto,
The
how to
meaning.
say it, and the
Yes,
meaning of it.
absolutely,
And I
absolutely.
must give credit to our current principal, Kevin Facey. He has a vision, and the vision is to transform the auditorium to what you call it, have a legacy wall, then, if you will, where the history is visible.
A wall of fame.
We want meaning like a wall of fame. Yes, like a wall of fame, but from that a child going in the auditorium may stop and look and see, oh my goodness, this person came here. Go ahead, Andrea. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and Donna, you may have forgotten that when we went to Meadowbrook, that's what happened. In the assembly hall, there were the pictures of the founders.
Yes, there was.
And there were also plaques. But you you wouldn't have walls enough in Meadowbrook in the hall now to really put the number of accolades. No, but I'm just...
That can be fixed, digitally we can fix that, It can be a screen.
They had the wall. We had the walls.
Yeah.
We had the walls with people who had won scholarships.
Yeah. We need to
and
have
had
that,
gone off and stuff. So we had that in front of us. Even though we never realized that was something,
Something, right.
Yes, but it was.
But I'm saying the space is not a problem, because all you have to do is put it on a digital thing, and it keeps circulating.
Yeah, and they can just keep on,
and different
showing.
era keep circulating, and people can read it. It just, it's a 24/7 thing. You see what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, I'm just saying that the whole idea, as you say, you have put your thing to it. That's true, because people need to know.
Yes.
I'd love to know where the 2 Rhodes Scholars are now.
Actually,
right.
I'm glad you asked.
I think it's 3. I think it's 3 now.
I'm glad you asked. You mean
you have
a
3rd one?
When is the 3rd one, Donna?
I heard that there's a 3rd one. I'll get the name.
No, we're not going to, because I debated somebody about that. I said I don't know about number 3 at all, but you asked about the Rhodes Scholars.
Number 3 either.
Surprise! One of the Rhodes Scholars being interviewed this Sunday.
Oh, fabulous.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes.
Fabulous.
That's wonderful.
Yeah,
everybody who knows me know that there have 2 female Rhodes Scholars from the Meadowbrook High School.
Oh, yes.
Hello.
Oh, yes.
No other school can say they have that.
Yes. But we have that and then some, because
and then some
because no other school has a brigadier. We have one,
Yeah.
we had several pilots, and our classmate just retired last year, Captain Keith White. We have so much to brag about. It's a long list of very accomplished, people.
We need to get the Wall of Fame going in terms of.
We need, Well, the project, definitely is kind of underway, but I think it got off to a slow start. I know that Shara Ann, who is the president for the local past students association, she is in. She has taken, agreed to spearhead that with the local chapter,
Mm-hmm.
but in light of the 65th anniversary, with a number of events taking
You have to,
place,
yeah,
it
president.
may have slowed down a little bit. But I know Shara has agreed to work on that with her board, to look into it. So I know Oswald took the lead to lay out the plans. Oswald Mattis to lay out the give some guidelines, because the hall will, other schools, like you said, Andrea, already have such a wall of fame. And I wanted to go back to a little bit what I started saying about the face of Meadowbrook. And I've talked with others, like the KC, what I'm going to mention it strong. I admire the work they put into with School Pride, and I did an interview with one former president of KC Old Boys Association, and he shared some things with me about how structured it is. When you enter KC from 7th grade up, that it is you have to know. You're being taught the history, the founders, what Bishop Gibson had and these people,
The whole
the
everything,
whole
history,
thing,
the full
yeah.
history.
And so he said, even today, when two Fortis men meet, there's like not just a bond, but that understanding that Casey need to benefit out of this.
Yeah.
Kind of it's like a pledge, like if they meet on a reunion, Casey need to get something out of it. I mean, I took copious notes from him because he was like such a wisdom. Yeah, because we have to share. You have to share information.
And that's the thing too, that I know we are in our 65th. We're a very, very young school in comparison to other
that
schools.
True.
So we have to understand that. And we're trying a lot of new and different things now and so forth. However, in the face of that, you have to really rock solid put down the foundation.
Yes.
Because the St. Jagos have been around for over 200 years. The Wolmers, the other schools, they have been around for hundreds of years.
Exactly.
We're a baby.
But you realize, we, our generation, including all of we are the same generation here, we are unique to place in it. Because when you started Meadowbrook wasn't 10-year old. So I'm saying no. So right now, we are in a position where we can start documenting and writing on the history of the school, because first hand, your story here now is not in a second guess. You were at Meadowbrook.
No,
you I'm saying to you?
Exactly.
But you need opportunity to document it in a certain way that it can spread amongst the school and people might come forward. We can write our own history then. Not make it up. We're not
absolutely.
Nobody else can have to write it.
We're part of the history.
Yes.
We're part of the history.
Yeah, because
we're part of the history.
Exactly. That's the point I'm making.
Well, I know that there is a push right now. There's a lot of activity in the background to get on board. Like, for example, in this month of March, Mr. Facey shared the calendar, and on the 12th of March, they will have Start of Spirit Week at Meadowbrook. There'll be a service at the United Church, and on the 13th, there'll be Founders Day, and there'll be several activities on campus with where the students will, be able to not just have fun, but learn and also interact. There's an invitation out to past students to come on campus that week and sit with a student, or work with a teacher to just share your story. With the kids. There's going to be a particular day too when those activities will be coordinated. And with Sports Day coming on March 3rd, that's an opportunity for past students to show up, cheer for your house, and rally the students, and let them encourage them, that, hey, you're a part now of the new history of Meadowbrook. These are we had good old days, and the good old days, it doesn't end there. They get to now
Be in
do
their good old days.
be
In their good old
exactly
days.
in their good old right. That's what
Absolutely.
they're doing.
So they
Yeah,
really want something solid that they can look back at, you know. So even though we
correct.
want to change and want to make everything, modern, and so we
So
really
forth.
have to we have to not change too many things, because
Yes,
even the color of the uniform has changed. And
several
I don't
times.
even know if people realize that the uniform is now a different color from it
I
used to
didn't
be,
know that. What I mean, it's a
It is
Well,
a
different.
one
different color.
it's a different.
It
One of
is.
the things also I'm
They said they couldn't
Dwayne.
get they couldn't get the
Yeah,
material or something.
yeah, yeah. No, there were
Um,
some serious issues with the fabric. Where it used to be at one point with the changes in the economy, it used to come in from overseas, I believe England. Then something happened with that manufacturing, then it came local, then it
yes,
went back again. So what
yes,
Oswald did in
yes,
his art transformation of the and a signage for the door, and
yes.
it will show. He's gonna show the original
The
um
colors of the
colors
uniform.
of the uniform. Yes,
Yes.
he'll do that.
Because
So
it's and you'd be surprised how the difference in the color
mhm,
is a big difference.
What color it is now?
yes,
Because
Man, never know
because
that.
the color now is much darker.
much darker. Yeah, yeah.
Much darker.
It reminds you of Calabar, like a green and black instead
It's
of
it's very
blue.
dark,
And,
you know.
I never
yeah,
even know
So
that. It's news that to me. I
yeah,
never
man.
know that.
Yeah, man,
yeah.
it's a different color, you know? And so even looking, somebody would have to really, if you don't know, if you went there and you don't know, you might not even be sure.
From
Yeah.
That is a Meadowbrook uniform, yes.
Yeah.
So,
Do you know,
so
Angie,
yes.
I'm gonna share this for the first time. My
Okay.
mom saved a
Yes.
piece of my mom used to make my school uniforms.
Yes.
And because she'd love to like be a dressmaker, like a thing. She used to throw, and she saved a piece of I have a piece of my original school uniform fabric
Yes.
right here with me. Yeah, when she passed, yeah, she left that. She know that means a lot to me.
Yes.
And
And
so
I'm
yeah.
sure I love my school tie. I had my school tie for a very long time too.
Yes. Because in
So if they
sixth
look at
form,
the old pictures, they will see definitely the school color is now different.
colors.
Yeah,
Yes.
some school tie I love get up. One of us I can't find another school tie that I love have one.
Yes,
Let me ask you something though. I remember maybe I'm my illusion. I remember my sister, as I said, she started to remember about 65, 66. She used to wear a beret. There was a time when the girls wore beret.
yeah, man. Green beret.
Yeah,
Green beret.
tell me about that.
Green beret.
I wonder from my imagination, it wasn't.
No, they used to have a beret.
It was just
But
all
by
the
the
girls
time-
are the six
By the
farmers.
time, no man, by the time we came, that was phasing out.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
they had beret. They had a beret.
But the cadets still wore them.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
We had hats at primary school.
Yes.
We had hats with the little band
Hold
around.
on. You remember Meadowbrook used to wear the straw hats?
Well, we used to wear straw hats to our primary school.
School. Oh. So British.
My older sister went to Meadowbrook. That's why I remember that. The straw hats and the beret. Yes.
Yes. No, they definitely had a beret. We definitely
I
had
thought
a
I was
beret.
making it up. I said, yeah, the beret, the Che Guevara beret, I call it. That became,
Yes.
Yeah, man. And then we really had a nice pins, that you'd wear
Yes.
for your house and so,
Yeah.
You remember,
Yes.
Donna, we used to have to make some holes in our tunic
Yeah.
to put the
Yes.
school pin,
School pin.
in and
Yes,
anchor
it's
it,
true.
Yeah.
That is so
So,
true. Yes.
you
And those pins lasted a long time, though.
Yeah, man,
you know.
lots of little things.
glad-
Lots of little things
I'm
that
glad-
made a big difference.
Let me ask you a question. Andrea.
Yes.
What's the most embarrassing moment you can remember at Meadowbrook that you can look back on with a smile?
That one cannot be spoken about here.
Behind the paid wall?
But let me tell you that it was a life lesson that I learned, and I've never forgotten it. Let us put it that way.
Mm.
Okay, all right. I hear
Yeah.
you.
Any funny other things there? I think we had a good time.
Funny
Sports Day,
things.
Andre. Funny, like there used to be a
I
lot
could
of. And I
always
think
run and come third. and get a point from a house. But I don't really. I as I said, one thing stands out for me, and that is very personal. So I won't share.
You won't go there. I hear
But
you.
yes. But I wouldn't say it was embarrassing. It wasn't embarrassing for me.
Yeah, I got you.
But as I say, I learned a life lesson from that.
I got you. All right.
Oh my
All right, let me ask you another question. We're going to talk about the concert, them and the fete, them and all them thing there. Which song you remember when you remember Meadowbrook? Which are the song that was stand out to say?
Oh my goodness. Donna, can I mention the one that she remembers?
I just remember that bus
I
trip.
know the one that she remembers.
Yes.
But
I blurted that one out.
Towards the end, I remember it later. Oh yeah.
The Scottish, like the Scottish songs and paragons and heptones and and child lights and romance music and
those
we
were
love
definitely
music.
Yeah.
Every single.
Wasn't Al Green popular too back then?
Yes, and all of these there was you had to have a disco in your school. I mean, what's a school without you having a discotheque?
Yeah.
That's what we call it back then,
Yes.
So lots of discotheque. No, man, no. School pride was around a lot of music. That is
a lot of
music. Yeah, man, a lot of music.
Yeah, man, I remember Donna song. We can't talk it up.
No, sir, we can't talk about that one at all right here, so no.
Donna song left many people blushing and say, oh.
But yes, no, I remember well. You see, it was in the days of the well, I won't use that phrase, but it was in the days when you could have the play on words and
exactly.
People would appreciate that.
Yeah, man,
but as you said, one thing that we pass is the influence of Rastafari towards in the 70s.
Talk about that a little bit.
Yes, because a lot of people Sata Amasagana, I can remember that song. Sata Amasagana, yes, so like yes. So like in fourth form and fifth, you saw the guys sort of moving towards Rastafari,
Yes.
Lots of problems then started at school because of course, who want to wear the Rasta belt, who want to wear gun mouth pants, and they think it's no bad.
But let's say, and the elephant in the room is, and then it comes with smoking weed, right?
Oh yes, but even before, I'm just talking about the dress now. So the guys would come, they would want to have on the Rasta belt, they would have to have on the gun mouth pants, and then they would have to wear their Clark's shoes, This is not nowadays.
Andrea, you can't just say gun mode pants. You have to explain what a gun mode pants is,
It's so narrow, just like how you see them have the narrow pants.
The skinny foot pants.
No, man, I know what it is now, but people are listening to say gun mode pants. What you talking about? Yeah,
man, it's narrow opening at the end, and then they had to have on the Clark's booty, which didn't quite go with the whole school outfit.
No.
And then of course, then the smoking, some persons got really, really derailed by that. We lost some people, not only in our school, but we lost people in other schools, because I would say San Dog don't have the same look, right?
No, everybody have
so
different genes.
some things, some people, it just didn't sit with them. And other people, it just didn't work out.
But you know what? Some of the, unfortunately, school, even now when kids are introduced to certain things, and then you have situations where the pushers, the people selling the stuff, they compromise the quality. They add stuff to it to make more of a living off of it at the expense of the children's health.
Yes,
health.
Absolutely.
So that contributed to some of what you're saying, the way we lost people.
We were very, very conscious of that part of it,
Yeah.
And as girls, we would really try to influence the boys around us,
Yeah.
Because they were our brothers, they were our brothers. So if something wasn't going so right, you could have a conversation with your brother and say, what's going on,
Well, let me ask a question
So,
though.
yes,
At 20 age in the early days of that, then girls
yes.
didn't smoke at all then.
No, sir. No.
Right.
But
Smoke
it was
ganja?
it was not no it would that was not prolific, right? It was more.
I don't have
I
ever
think
seen,
no, I
I never
think
saw
girls who
any.
were dating, no, there were one or two. I don't want to call out the name, but they were like more
Okay.
sixth form, yeah. But and it's just because they were dating, and if their guys, smoked or was they, then they would, take a draw. But
Yeah.
it wasn't like rampant.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you want to qualify it,
Yeah.
yeah.
But that was the age of people smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cigarette here.
That was
Yeah.
the age of lots of people smoke
That
cigarettes.
time they never advertised a cigarette cause cancer. That wasn't.
No.
Yeah.
That came
Yeah.
afterwards when they sued the
And
cigarette
people,
company. Yeah.
yeah, and people were smoking in restaurants and it
Yes.
was
All
just
over.
smoke.
All over.
Yeah,
All
all
over.
over.
All over.
Yeah.
But that was
Wow.
an interesting times of change, times of rebellion,
Mm-hmm.
times of, very, very interesting times. And I
Yes,
think black pride needs to be reestablished,
I agree.
because we have been so influenced
Yeah.
by North America and Jamaica. I happen to live in Jamaica now, and I've always lived here, and I can see the deleterious effect that the transmission of information from the US has had on Jamaica. Because
Yes.
even how people behave, because they have learned some things that are not necessarily acceptable in the United States as
Mhm.
mainstream,
Yeah.
but they think that it's mainstream.
Yeah.
So in dress, in behavior, it very unfortunate, So because we're a small society, and in the 70s and the 80s, we lost a lot of our parents to the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Yes.
for the long period of time of the children being grown with the barrels, and they just send stuff down, and no parent, no physical parent in
Yeah.
place.
That's a big
Jamaica
topic.
there's a big gap. So
Yeah.
it's very difficult. Sometimes when it's very difficult for me, sometimes when I hear people really being very, very critical of Jamaica. But what has happened is that when you talk about brain drain, when you talk about the people who got the foundational things, the majority of them, a lot of them are outside of the country.
Yeah.
And
But
as I know people in the diaspora are helping and all of that, but they're in the diaspora,
Yeah.
and they've been there for many years. So it's different. It's different from when you are here and you can actually touch somebody, look at somebody, and they can understand that, what, you are here and this is who you are, So those are the things that I feel, because I would say 90% of my high school class are abroad.
In diaspora.
I would say it's 90%.
Yeah.
90%.
Yeah.
Therefore,
Yeah,
there's a hard the foundation to build on. Same with the, so we have lost a lot of that, and we have to be sort of kind to ourselves in some ways.
Yeah,
to
but it's more
understand that
complex
there's
than
a
that,
big,
though, Andrea.
yes.
What you're saying is very true, very valid, solid points. But leaving the island, I realized how when you are living on an island where the square footage is just X amount and the economy is not growing as fast as it could to
support
provide
everybody.
everybody. It will lead to migration.
I am not saying anything about that people have migrated, because people migrate because they want to and they know the reason why they go, and that's fine.
Yes.
And they have the opportunities. However, the gap is so wide. The socialization has changed so much. Because, all right, perhaps if people are even coming back more frequently,
but there might be a solution if you think about it different,
Yeah, tell me about it.
I will tell you what I think. And this is a think off at the top of me. I listen to you and Donata.
Yeah.
Yes.
All three of us now on this conversation, and we're in a different part of the world, you know. You're in
Yes.
Jamaica, I think Donna in New York, and
Yeah.
I'm in Florida. And I'm saying that
Yeah.
is the solution, you know. To start having a conversation amongst ourselves and the group. And I can't say why we differentiate whether we live in a Jamaica and in the diaspora. It should be one community.
No, we're not differentiating. I'm just saying that the reality is that a lot of substance, a lot of Donna Whites and Glaister Princes and so are not here. Even though it's not possible because, as you say, people migrate for different reasons. Okay?
Yes.
But I'm just saying that the substratum, a lot of it has been pulled away with people not being aware that even if they left, the influence could still have been there, probably with a cousin. I'm not just sending a remittance or something.
No, I acknowledge that. No, I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree. What I'm saying, Donna.
Cultural thing.
What I'm saying, Andrea. No, but what I'm saying, you know, with the advent of the online world, I think we can bridge that gap. I just don't think we've made the most of it yet. I'm saying.
All right. Well, no. Okay. I'd like to interject. All right.
Yes.
And what I'm gonna say is, a lot of what we're saying is I can sense that there's a lot of information not being shared, meaning the diaspora is not just a bunch of people doing remittances.
No.
I know for sure that
nobody would ever think that.
But what I'm saying
and I'm
is,
not trying to make light. No, because remember, you live abroad. I'm not saying anything about here and there.
We understand.
But
I want to raise another point that to support what Andrea is saying, there are a number of very active groups who realize that gap you're talking about. And when I say realize, it's not just now. This has been going on for maybe 30, 40 years. And there are very large active groups of non-profit groups and various, you can put names on it, alumni associate, whatever, that they regularly, not about remittances, they bring their experiences there, like the Jaja Foundation. There's Uja. There's the expertise. I listen to their doctors. There are things that people.
No man, I know
that. But they're giving what they can do. But I think hold on. I'm saying it's okay to say that we know they exist and so on. But what I'm saying is that what the work that's being done by these groups, it's solid. It's what they can contribute. What we need is more of them.
Absolutely. But you know what? Before Glaister, I'm going to cut you right a little. You know, if I could see that the minds of the people are being liberated to a certain point, that the people are being taught the mental things, you know, because people come and it's fantastic and lots of outreach and so, you know, but the mind thing, the thing that makes somebody just born to be different because they have heard something different or they have seen something different.
Yes.
You know, that is the thing, you know, because sometimes people come and they'll see somebody and this person come and they go and they brought and they build a clinic and they so and so. But the people who are in the clinic system, who are being served by the clinic system, their mind hasn't been taught, so they're still in the clinic system. You know what I'm saying?
So here, okay, let me offer this piece of information. I happen to be on a call in the diaspora recently, where and this has to do with the education system. So what you're expressing is a genuine concern amongst. So I'm going to say hundreds, even thousands of people here, especially with education. And this is what I got on the call because I was concerned about these viral videos with this misbehavior and whatever. So then I learned when I joined on this diaspora call, there were a lot of educators. There was the head of the JTA, president and so on. What they were doing is, and they have been working on and leading up to this workshop that's going to happen in June, there's a clear realization that a lot has changed, and there has to be I have to take a hold of like the education system from elementary going up and make some curriculum changes is one thing. Also, teachers, what they did was survey the teachers and ask, what are some of the things you would like the diaspora to help you with? That we could be meaningful instead of diaspora coming down and thinking, like you said, sending barrel or
donate to this
donating. That's good, but there's a realization. It's not addressing the problems, the things you touched on. So I one person who happened to sit in, I see things, there are changes, but change is slow, but they're gonna happen. They're gonna happen because exactly the way you explained it, Andrea, it needs to happen for long-term, gains. And go ahead.
And
let me challenge you, Andrea. Let me challenge you. Can you identify a problem? What do you think the solution is?
All right, you have to do it one by one. There you have to take some people. All right, a lot of people wonder why I do what I do. Okay.
And tell people what you do. Andrea.
All right, I work with people to teach them how to be health and wellness coaches. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But apart from that, just to do a lot of personal development, because a lot of people don't feel equal,
Mm-hmm.
So they're starting off with a deficit
Mm-hmm.
in terms of how they're viewed, how they view themselves.
Yes, I'm on board. I think
Exactly.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
And so if you can change a few persons at a time. Many times I say things to people and it sounds like Greek. But I said, listen, let me explain to you exactly what I'm talking about. Because I am not of the opinion that because you are exposed to X, Y, and Z, that is where you need to remain or that's who you need to be.
No.
Right? Once your mind is exposed, I say once a mind is exposed, it can't really close back again.
Yeah.
But who is going to really open their mouth and show somebody something that's different? You've got to show people what's different.
And you see,
and that is really, really a big passion of mine. A really huge passion.
But believe it or not, Andrea, I'm on board with you now. We'll do it one by one.
Yes.
I see people like you and I and Donna who went to Meadowbrook and privileged to come to Meadowbrook and think a certain way. Because we not think nobody better than we. It's as simple as that. Because we come we come from, and so it's like we want to teach the rest of the people in Jamaica, most of the people who are inferiority complex. That's what you're talking about, But the point is, we have to take it upon ourselves and do it. Don't ask somebody else to do it. One by one. It's like what you do, Andrea. It's like you want to spread it. You want 12 disciples, and just spread the word. You pick it.
No, man, we have to. Because when I realize what some people have never
they don't know the concept. They don't know the concept. They don't know the concept.
No.
And it's not an education thing, It's not an education thing.
It's not even a formal education.
No, it's not. This is bigger than education. It's a concept. Whereas it's a time must come. But I'm saying the only way we're going to get the message out is people like the three over here decide, say, we're going to take it on.
Yeah.
But that's where what's coming from. And I'm saying, you know what?
Great.
The media, the internet and the media, nobody never give me the permission to start this program, I love it. I just go out and go do it,
You did it, right.
Anybody can go there and go try it, but me I say, plenty of people have the mindset of me, I want to say, let me try it, if it don't work, it don't work. But I'm saying, it's like you want change minds, Andrea.
Change, yes.
Yes.
You have got to people say, boy, you have got to change your mind.
Open minds to a whole new world of opportunity. That's what we're saying, and it's doable.
Yes,
because the thing about it is, my parents, God rest their souls, Ronald King and Pearl King, were persons. I mean, they never went to no high school and no college and whatever. However, I learned so much from them. That is more than a college education. When my mother passed away, somebody came to me and said, "Oh, so at what? Your mother had a master's, I nearly died with laughter. You know, my mother never
But
ever finished
Andrea,
primary
your
school.
mom did.
Because she was just she was way ahead of her time. She was just a
She
different
went to
person.
she graduated from the School of Life. I mean,
Yeah, man.
that
And
our parents,
yes,
meaning
different.
our generation of parents, they were change makers. They were
Absolutely.
mentors.
I remember repeat it now, nothing to do with the school where I got education. My mother didn't pass more than an 8th grade elementary education, right?
Yeah.
And she was a factory worker for 40 years. And when we learned from her, it's just like you talk about. Is that what I'm saying?
Yes.
Is that what I'm saying?
Yeah.
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 So the
Yeah.
What and what you have to understand too is that as they say, you have to know yourself.
Yeah.
You have to literally know yourself, and you have to know that even if this is my circumstance, I don't want to hear no long story. Nobody come to me with a long story.
Yeah.
This never happened and that never happened. No. So what are you going to do about it? You know?
Know about it.
So
yeah.
I think we grew up in that. I think that era where if you wanted to go for it,
you go for
take
it.
the risk.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
You go for it
Just
and you
forget
take
about
the
it.
risk.
And
You know.
in a sense,
Yes, you take it.
that's the message we want to start teach. But we can't do it tonight.
Yeah.
I'm saying the medium is here for do it. More and more people just have to recognize and say, yeah, you can't go do it. So let's go try it and say. Let's go do it. And
I think some of the young people have gotten the message, and I tell you why they have. Because I watched a young lady at Meadowbrook in 6th form did a presentation as on a committee planning, a fundraising thing, and she was making a pitch. She's in 6th form, and she said she'd like to get the business to do help with the media thing, and she was showing what she does creatively, creative designs and marketing. And I was truly impressed.
Yeah.
I was like, oh boy, good. And let me mention, Meadowbrook High School is on the list for having some of the top currently now. So that for the last 3 years, our students in 6th form are on the top, performing, some of the top performing students nationwide.
Definitely.
Nationwide. Let me not leave here without saying that.
Yes, we are a hidden gem, and we have always been a hidden gem.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And,
exactly.
And the people who are smart put their children at Meadowbrook.
Yeah. So there is hope. There is still hope. There's a future.
Yes.
But we are just operating in a time of change. Let's not forget. Remember when it was 1999 and people thought the world was going to end?
The world was going to come to an end, yes.
Because a new century.
Yes.
But now we're 23, going into the 23rd year of a new century.
Thank you very much.
Right?
Yeah.
So and during that now, it's like when we're going through change, it's frightening, it's challenging, it's scary. I mean, I hate to date myself, but I'm gonna have to say this. I remember as a little girl reading cartoons, and I'm watching cartoons rather, and then reading those paper drawing in the newspaper and stuff. Comics. Yeah.
strips. Mm-hmm.
Do you remember there was a character that used to talk into the watch?
Of
and
course,
that was supposed to be future back then.
Yeah.
Hello.
That's
that was Dick Tracy.
Dick Tracy. Thank you.
Yeah, Dick Tracy.
Okay.
Every single thing. And that's why sometimes we get scared, because when you see things that are being portrayed in movies and stuff, you know that potentially that's going to happen, whether good or bad.
Exactly, Andrea. Exactly.
Yes, because we have seen those things happen,
And this is why, though, our islands, the Caribbean island needs to get, a lot of strides now, because when we were going to school, it was GC, it was, overseas, England, A-levels and O-levels. Now there's a Caribbean curriculum that's working and being upgraded. That's good. But there needs to be a bigger investment in the Caribbean islands in education, because even with the limited resources in schools and so on, what's happening is that then the young people, they are looking to migrate to because and they should, to get a more global experience around the world. But then we need to have our islands come up, to bring them back, be able to offer them, opportunities.
A reason to come back. A reason to come back. A reason to come back.
Yeah, and there are reasons to come back, but they should be able to have a good living wage. It's something that has been going wrong with the whole system, not just in Jamaica, across with the system,
Yes, disparity. Something has gone fundamentally wrong for a long time, and it's going to be very difficult to correct it.
We need a reset, as the mother said. But
that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say.
I have an idea what's gone wrong, but I don't want to start that topic at all. Because
okay. All right.
I can't finish. Yes.
I agree.
It has to be taken off air.
No, yeah.
Yes.
Well, let me ask you another question, Andrea.
Yeah.
What life lesson you learn at Meadowbrook you pass on to your friends and family?
Oh my goodness!
Oh wow!
They just do. I mean, just do whatever you can. I mean, as I said, just don't be afraid. Just do. Talk up. We always had the privilege of talking up. Always could talk up, even though in a respectful way. You could always disagree.
Yeah.
And I remember, we would write petitions and take to Mr. Thorpe when we thought that the action that he took was,
And Andrea was the leader, was one of the leaders for that.
We'd carry the petition to Mr. Thorpe, and he would politely read it, and then he'd say, I don't think this is in your province, King. I don't think so, because they used to do things like cane the boys who came last, and little things like that. Did you come? Yeah, man, if you come last in this class.
Right. I never know that.
Yes, and stuff like that. And we thought that was wrong.
Yeah.
So, anything that we thought was wrong, we would put it forward, In
a formal way, like in a petition.
In a formal, yeah, man, do that. Or we
but
say,
that's an offshoot of the system, the education system back then. Where I remember at Melrose Primary School, if you come last, you're talking about when we had those what they used to call those math classes where your teacher used to like quick math. When she just throw it.
Verbal reasoning,
and there was
mental ability,
mental ability. Yeah, and if you get the answer wrong, you get caned right there. You're whipped and
like crazy.
Right there. Yeah, but that changed too.
I'm a child. I abhor those things. I was in a class at primary school, and the lady jumped up and down and was beating everybody. And I said, my God, I don't do anything. What are you beating me for,
Yes.
And so from then, we just open your mouth and talk up, right?
Exactly.
And
Italian teacher, Andrea.
Respectfully.
Yes, I have respectfully. But you say, I didn't do anything, so how can they said good have to suffer for the bad. I don't believe in good have to suffer for no bad.
I had to challenge a PE teacher when I was in first farm, and it was respectful. It was respectful.
Oh my goodness.
But one thing they always listen to, like we'd say, they say, the afros have to be low. Just say, but why? If it's neat, we'd always,
we push back a lot. We push back, and
boys
I think we
because they would. Yeah. Some families that when you hear them announce, could so and so remain behind after prayers. We know because
Lord.
you had these hairy boys that would always beard up very quickly.
Yes.
And so whatever we didn't like injustice.
Yeah.
That's true.
Whatever we perceived to be injustice, we didn't like it.
You challenge it, and that was
yes,
good.
I think that has and that also came from my early thing.
And that's a Meadowbrook thing going on. Meadowbrook allows the students to challenge them thing then. Yeah.
Yes, it did.
Yes,
because I don't think we could have challenged them with Pekka in the 80s if it wasn't Meadowbrook at all. Other school in Meadowbrook.
That is it.
Meadowbrook facilitated that, and that's the beauty of going to Meadowbrook.
Everything is a way in which, so if people don't know how to communicate, because that is, you say a word to somebody and they're not sure what it means, and it break out in a fight because they don't really know that word. So that word must be really something bad,
But that is, to me, in my mind, that's the biggest problem with violence in Jamaica, conflict resolution skill.
People don't understand what. Yeah.
They don't understand. What did you say?
It's
Sorry.
communication.
Conflict
It's a
resolution.
communication.
It is communication.
But
Yeah.
it's not it, the
Absolutely.
communication, the full communication. Because if somebody is saying something to you and you don't have the words to express it, the words to express how you feel, then you just do it through action, know? So,
But that communication thing
parents
has
are doing the
taken,
same thing.
has taken a toll since, especially post COVID, with children just learning online. They're
Yes.
unsupervised at home.
That
And
is.
the teachers, that's the biggest complaint, that in speaking with the teachers, that the past students associations interacting with the teachers, to see what we do and so on.
Yes.
It's come up a lot that they're saying these kids had, for 2 years, they're taking care of themselves. And then they come back to school, and it's two at least two main, not only two, but two main ones. One, behavior. They don't remember how to conduct themselves
with each other,
each other, and with their teachers and so on. And the other thing is, when they had been at home using technology, to bring them back now into a classroom with chalkboard and stuff, there's this big gap. So it's a lot of challenge. Teachers are being expected to quickly, realign themselves with the new on hybrid way then of teaching. That's one thing. Then they have to deal with the kids looking down on their phones all day, because that's what they were doing at home all the time. And so there's this thing now of saying, okay, how can we get their attention in this world that's driven by technology?
We almost have to formalize socialization.
Yes.
Because people are not social anymore.
Yes.
People think that when you talk to somebody on WhatsApp, that's being social.
That's being social. I was going to say that.
And I remember back in the day, when it's Mad Saunders, she was saying that one of her biggest dreams is that Meadowbrook has a place where the children can sit.
Yes.
And eat. Sit.
Yeah.
Eat. Because people think that because it's just teaching you some skills of socialization.
It's not more
how to have a conversation with the person beside you. You know?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
No, when you mentioned Matt Saunders, something came to mind that most high schools, I'm very proud of mine, but I have to generalize this and say that I think most high schools that were founded by these persons who made an investment in education, like Matt Saunders, like Henry Ward, like Shore Saunders, it is imperative that we keep their dream alive, and
absolutely,
and by continuing to drill home to the current students the sacrifice these people made.
Because
not
Matt Saunders, as a single woman, she purchased that land.
She purchased that land. That's where I'm headed. That's where I'm headed. Yeah. In other words, what these people did, was invested in future leaders and what you call it, and in nation building. If I could dare to say that.
No man, nation building. Definitely nation building.
That's school design for that, Vivian Thomas about that,
Yes.
So what about the name Meadowbrook?
How did
what
you?
What about the name Meadowbrook?
The same thing.
Right? Because that's what she said. She said there were meadows
and
there were brooks.
Yes.
There were rivers and there were meadows.
Yes.
So it became Meadowbrook.
Meadowbrook.
Who said that? Mrs. Saunders?
Yes.
Oh, I know the first time hearing that.
Yes. She said there were meadows. So you see, why is it that the place flooded out so much? Riverside Drive and all of those things. Those places were rivers.
Water
forces.
I got you.
Andrea, would you agree with this statement? Well, I think we'll all agree. Meadowbrook has a rich tradition of trailblazing and innovation, which many past students remember fondly. So I'm going to name a few things. One of the first schools to have a culture club dedicated to learning about Black history and racism.
Okay.
This is someone's memory. One of the first schools, you're going to have to guide me on this one. First schools to hold elections for head boy, head girl. I don't remember the process.
Not in our time. Not in our time.
Okay.
Our time, it was a selection process.
Selection process. Okay, one of the first schools to produce a play filmed by, and it was filmed by back then the local station JBC TV.
Really?
Like, yeah.
I wonder which play was that.
I don't remember the name of it. This is written by. I didn't ask her permission, but
Okay,
very well.
Mention her name then. Mention her name.
Yes.
What was another memory?
And one of the first high schools in Jamaica, this part is definitely true, to promote a reggae concert featuring popular artists and musicians in the school's auditorium. Yes. So to Lance's point earlier, there's so much rich heritage and culture and this and that really the research is there, the information is there, but it needs to be properly
we need to put it
documented.
In one place and start shouting
Yes,
from the mountaintop. That's
definitely
at the school. You need to have it there at the school where every student who come there.
They have a synopsis, an overview of what the school is really.
Yes.
Every year, every first year student must go through a certain, I want to use the word indoctrination.
Orientation.
Yes.
Orientation,
These are the Meadowbrook way, and these are the things that Meadowbrook people have done.
Absolutely.
And it's like a refresher course. And then by the time I reach fifth form, Donna, the course they want to teach them. Yes, you come to Meadowbrook for 5 years. These are the students who have given back to Meadowbrook. And you start naming them out. You make them conscious of it before them leave.
Absolutely.
Them start them to give back from Meadowbrook. Exactly.
Yeah, it is done.
What would be lovely too is by the fifth formers could be teaching the first formers.
Exactly.
Orientation.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Start being groomed as leaders.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, Mr. Facey is definitely visionary, and he's in support of some of these ideas, like from as past students that we want to bring to the fore. And I had a conversation with him today about setting a date. To have a forum, and we really wanted to do it. We meaning the Face of Meadowbrook Committee, have it earlier, like in January, but. That's the beginning of the year, and so much is going on, and this month is also packed. So the first week of May lands, and I want you, as you go along, to promote. The first, we're gonna definitely do a forum where we're gonna invite, like you have done in the past, Andrea, many times, like on Career Day, speaking with the students. We want to again. Go have like maybe a virtual, because then we could accommodate a lot more people and globally do it.
I agree with that. The technology is so advanced. Definitely.
So what I have been involved with on the committee that I was saying though, I'd rather encourage that as past students, yes we come packed with experiences and good things to offer, but we should work in partnership with the teachers who are there in the daily lives of the students. And I think at this time, with what's going on too, we should add a guidance counselor, yes, but also professional social workers who also, they're aware of some of the things that might slip us to see, children who need a little bit more help. Mental issues I'm talking about, there are depression, stuff like that. So I am really looking forward to working with the committee to put this together, and I will definitely be reaching out to both of you and to others to come on board and with ideas, and let us start something meaningful, which we have done in the past successfully. But we need to keep it going. Is where I'm headed. Not just do it one and done.
Not to be a sustainable thing. Yes.
A sustainable
thing
where it is ingrained in the culture. Because think of someone who is aspiring to be like a chef and a master, because Meadowbrook has a master chef. I don't know, I think some person who had won on one of these international, you name it, we're there. And to say to a young child, maybe quietly thinking about this, or an artist like Oswald, who, who's now giving back to the school a one of a kind mural that's valued at so much. I'm hoping at out there and everyone listening will be able to come on Thursday, April 13th, and share with us at Meadowbrook, an evening with art. To have students be exposed to art excellence and just see what a young school, as Andrea said earlier, 65 years old, what type of talent we have been able to produce. Yes.
Absolutely.
Second to none.
Absolutely.
Second to none. What was Miss Moore? What was her thing? Where I'll come back to that.
Oh yes. And something to none. Yes.
Second to none. Yes.
Anyway, Andrea, believe it or not, I've been here for over 2 hours. Let me ask you a couple.
I saw that, and I said, what?
Riveting.
Let me ask you a couple questions before we close it out, because we normally I take what a people time and thing, and I appreciate you coming in and spend is a midweek night and all them thing there. But let me ask you this question, Andrea. How does it feel bringing them back all these Meadowbrook memories after all these years?
Boy, I think because we live so close with each other, it just feels normal. It just feels normal. I talk about Meadowbrook all the time.
So we do.
I talk about Meadowbrook all the time.
Yeah. Okay. It's like nothing to you then. That's another a rap and a roar like and nothing at all. Yeah. Anyway, let me ask you one more question before I ask the last question, Andrea.
Yes.
And you first. Any question or any topic at all you think I could have asked that I didn't ask you?
I think you were fairly far-reaching, yes. Quite far-reaching. Well, I suppose I didn't say I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother.
We love it.
Yes.
And you, Donna, is there any question you think I could have asked Andrea or I didn't ask her? Any topic I could have bring up or I didn't bring up?
No, I think this was in-depth, like really meaningful, conversation and just reflections on that important part of our, journey in life where, we were educated at a wonderful school, at still top notch, books. And, we have made lifelong friends, and we can look back now that we have taken our place in the world, as Andrea said, being whether wife, mother, career person, whatever role you as an entrepreneur in your own right, Lance, we can now say, hey, so what can I do with what I've been blessed with? And it's not necessarily all about, it's not about money, although you need cash to care, but it's about stewardship. Your time, talents, and so on. And so yes, I think to answer your question more directly, I think we covered the important things that we wanted to achieve tonight. I really feel so.
Thank you. So the last question, Andrea, I have a first question and a last question I ask everybody. What made Meadowbrook magical?
What made Meadowbrook magical? I think the whole atmosphere, the people, I can just see so many people, like, it's just like so fresh in my mind. I have people who came from primary school who came to Meadowbrook with me, so you saw them for so many years. It was just like a family. That's what made it magical, and that's what continues to make it magical and memorable, It was so much of a family. Yes.
That's exactly what I said to it's like there was no point I went to Meadowbrook that I didn't look around. Left, right, fifth farm, fourth farm. That there was a brother, a sister, a cousin that had somebody else in the school. That's a familiar feel I got from Meadowbrook. It was like family, as you say, Andrea.
Yes. Definitely. Family describes us. And I want to thank, before we close, there are some quiet little like ambassadors of light, people who quietly have done and are still doing some great things to give back to our beloved alma mater. And there are also some companies who have come on board quietly doing things, and I won't call out the name, but I'm just gonna say when we had some issues last year with the behavioral problems with some students at the school, it was more than admirable how some people stepped up and had we talk about how important communication is, and some of the students, all of the students who had permission were taken on a special trip to off site to do like have that one-on-one, that group thing. When you grow up in your neighborhood, your 3-block area, you start to think as a child that that's the world, and sometimes you need to come out of that,
Yes.
And go in a more neutral zone, go take a trip on our beautiful
Softer
bus.
environment.
Softer environment, yes. They were
Yes,
to the
yes.
North Coast, and they were, it was they got a chance to talk, to hear teachers' experiences of how they were as children, and to share what was really at the root of some of the issues going on. And long story short, it was successful, and I think that pilot that took place will be embraced a little bit more going forward, because it's a lot of work to do, and it's not going to be solved like in the short term overnight. But if we start, there's light at the end of the tunnel. And so we have to continue to let our light, the little whatever we can do, make a difference one child at a time, and continue to let our beacon of light shine.
Yeah, well, for embrace the motto, let our light shine. I agree with
Let
Yes,
our light
and
so shine.
really have to thank you, Glaister, for this opportunity, and to really commend you on the idea that you've had to have the Meadowbrook memories. And, may it just go from strength to strength. I thank you so much.
I agree. I agree.
That's
This
the
was
last question,
wonderful.
but both of you gave your closing remarks. I appreciate that. I appreciate both of you coming on. And I'm telling you, this has been a wonderful conversation, because I didn't have to work too hard.
Yeah, well, it was a pleasure meeting you. We only met like not even a year, but it's been a tremendously, wonderful experience. You have so much to give and share, and you don't hesitate. And I appreciate you. And Andrea is like as my sister friend. So, I'm excited that we are blessed with this opportunity to do something like this together for our beloved alma mater. This is wonderful.
Yeah.
Prince, I'm looking forward to meeting you.
Definitely. Looking forward to that. Look, I'm coming to Jamaica in July. Them organize a cricket match and them want me to come play, so I would say.
Beautiful,
yes,
beautiful.
yes,
All right, so let
yes.
us know.
All right,
Definitely.
So,
But
all right,
let me
then.
close out. So, Andrea King-Bird, Donna White Philibert, I want to thank both of you for coming out. And I want to thank all of us, and God bless all of us and that great school at 2 Meadowbrook Avenue, will allow us to have these conversations. Even after 50 years, we can still come have them conversations like we're still in Meadowbrook, and we enjoy it. So thank God both for coming, and God bless you, no? God bless all the way, and God bless that great school at 2 Meadowbrook Avenue. Thank you, no?
God bless us all.
Yes.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Amen and amen.
Yeah, man.
Amen.
All right,
Be
thanks.
well. Night. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So remember to like, share, and subscribe these Meadowbrook Memories podcasts, so neither you nor your friends will miss another Meadowbrook conversation. Thanks. Thanks for listening to Meadowbrook Memories, and remember to give us all the support and encouragement you can on whatever social media platform you are listening. And special thanks to my production manager, Kyle Prince, who takes care of everything involved in getting the podcast out every week. And without him, this podcast would not be possible. It is his expertise that allows me to do what I love doing every week, having great conversations about Meadowbrook memories, and he's responsible for everything else. So again, thanks to my production manager, Kyle Prince.